Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. This time we're re-entering the Chamber of Aspects to take it on with two more teams that are slightly different, but kind of the same. I mean, because it is force limited, there are only so many options that you can realistically use to, be able to clear this. He does have quite a bit of HP, so a low damage team really isn't going to work that well. So what I have compiled for you is two more teams that can take this event on and reasonably clear it. One of them is a stun-focused team, and apparently my antivirus is running out. But I did pre-record them because it was at very late at night and I didn't really feel like talking, so I'm doing voiceover like 2 days later. It's not this team. I don't know if I still have it actually up right now. Well, that's one of them. And no, I don't. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a cut, and I'll bring those videos over. Alright, so the first team is a Warrior's Mind team plus the Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. He's going to be here because he's realistically only our only blue to, or orange to blue orb changer in this entire 3-category list. There might be another one, but obviously he's the best of them. But we've got Protector Velzard, we've got the new Hinata, because she is on Warrior's Mind, and she also is giving that massive, elemental buff to every single character on the screen, regardless of what typing they are, so that makes her very versatile. Rimuru's here, obviously, for the physical buff and the orb change, but mostly for the orb change, because we're going to go to 8 turns, and at that point, Valentine's physical buff is better than Rimuru's, so there's no reason to use that unless we really, really want, the extra 10% and then the 20% debuff, and it's inconsequential. But Guy will be our primary nuker, single target. He's got the ult buff plus the crit. Valentine has the fizz buff and the crit resistance down on turn 8, and then Violet has the ult resistance down and crit damage up. So the only thing that's going to be kind of a struggle here is I'm not running a unit that gives Guy extra ult gauge, because normally if I was running Warrior's Mind, it would be, that Rimuru, which is not on the categories listed, and I don't have the ult gauge charm on Velzard. I've got the extra protection gauge on blues instead. So trying to get the EX ult may take a little bit of working around to actually get that. Now, if you decide to send a bunch of, if you have three ults, to the 2 AoEs and Guy, you could probably get away with just having not EX ults, but Guy is really useful here turn 1 because he is able to do that turn 1 orb change. He is a special converter. He's just a little bit extra expensive for an extra orb that you can't do anything with on turn 1, but it does open it up to, you having 50 points and potentially having a good enough hand for this turn, which, we kind of do and we kind of don't at the same time, right? Guy is our only green orb changer. So Violet could come and steal most of those Guy orbs and we would just leave the green Valentine. Or we could just send the Guy orbs and get working on his ult faster than, what would be normally possible. Hinata also does have her future orb skill, technically, right? She does have that future hand of oranges. I don't actually think I use it here at all, because this is a blue-focused team. I don't want orange orbs, I want blues. There's the attack nerf. Sorry, I just ate lunch. Which can be unfortunate, but again, we're not nuking with Guy right now. We're going to send this ult to get it out of our hand because we have 5 more turns, and I'm fairly confident we can get another ult for him within that time. But I don't want to hold on to it because he is one of our primary orb changers, and having one of your primary orb changers sitting with an ult that you can't do anything with that you're holding on really cuts down on your efficiency as far as getting a whole bunch of blues, getting maximum points, and getting maximum protection gauge. So we don't really want that. We want stacks of Velzard to make sure that we can hit very, very hard and offset this attack nerf, which we're already pretty much doing now at this point, because we've gotten a couple stacks of Velzard. It doesn't really matter, but, an attack nerf is an attack nerf, and we don't really want that. So this is why we brought Rimuru. He's the dedicated orange orb changer, full hand of blues. We'll bring Hinata in since Rimuru was taking actually quite a bit of damage there. I don't really want that. He is necessary as one of our orb changers. Not so much as physical buff, but we need him to live. We need him to live. Hinata, probably our least useful unit here, She is giving us that all-type buff, but her second skill is not what I would consider very useful for the team in general. So, if anyone was to die, it would probably be Hinata. If I had to choose, we would sack off Hinata. But now we're just playing. Now we're just playing for stacks, and we are close to getting a Guy ult. But again, we need a lot of Guy orbs, and we're gonna have to sit here with his ult and try and attempt to get him his EX ult while having only 5 blues to send. So that requires a lot of orb RNG to get him to an EX ult, because we're going to need like 7 more orbs for him probably, and since we're not getting the maximum gauge buff because we're not sending 6 orbs, it's going to go a little slower. Pretty unfortunate. Rimuru is taking a beating. He doesn't have that extra defense from Velzard, unfortunately, so he is inherently weaker. Valentine, and we don't get to use Valentine very much, but when we do get to use her, she does work well on this team, right? Giving us that extra stack of protection gauge, which is just another 12% attack. Really, really good. It helps you speed up the amount of points you get, your attack in general, and if you had the Rimuru here, it would just be another 10% onto his extra ult gauge, which sadly we can't use here. So we've got 6 orbs. We're going to send the Valentine ult because I'm not concerned about her. She's an AoE. She's currently nerfed. Don't really care. We're going to swap out Rimuru because, again, he's getting real low now, and he must live. So we're going to send the 5 for maximum power. We have Guy orbs, so it's good. I want more. We're going to need more. It's already turned 6, and we do not have an EX ult yet. So I think I wait. Because the thing about Yamza is that after turn 8 passes, he does heal himself. But he heals to a cap, which is 70% of his maximum HP. And as we'll soon see next turn, we're not at 70% HP, so he doesn't heal for anything, which is nice, because that ensures that he already has a chunk of health missing, and that just helps us do more damage, right? So here, again, we're going to have to use more orb changing. Everything's getting quite expensive now. 3 more Guy orbs here, plus another one coming in next turn, means that that's looking good. We're playing a dangerous game leaving Rimuru up front right here, right now, though. Like, if he took a bad counter or something, things would not look good. So, yeah, now, one more hit and he's dead. So he needs to go away. But, it is turn 8. We are just a few orbs away from the EX ult, so we're going to actually hold here, because he's not going to heal anything, right? He's not low enough for his heal to actually matter, which does make a huge difference. So we'll use this orb change one more time. We need to make sure we have at least, 240 points? 290 if we wanted to use the Hinata buff, which now, thankfully, because we waited one more turn, we have 313. So now we have enough points to use all the buffs. This could hurt. It hurt a little bit. All right, but there's his 0 heal. So he heals own HP to 70% of max HP. It doesn't heal himself 70% of his HP, right? Because then he'd be capped out, because he's only missing less than 30%. It's up to 70%, which is good. So now we have enough points. So there's the element buff. We have 2 more stacks of Velzard as well, because we have some of the traits kicking in. And now we'll bring Valentine in, and we'll use 1, 2, 3 buffs, plus the 2 stacks of Velzard, and that is going to end this fight turn 9, which is still fairly good. We probably could have killed him earlier, honestly. Like, we do enough damage. Don't get me wrong. We do plenty of damage, so if you're able to, yeah, he has 981k, and how much damage do we do? We're going to send the normals first, just because. And normals do 60k? Yeah, we're going to be just fine. And then his ult does 1.2, and he only had 900 and change, so we could have nuked earlier and we would have been fine. But there we go, there's the Warriors Mind team plus the Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. That is definitely one team that can take this on. Let's move on to the second team. Okay, so we're not limited on protectors that we can use, right? So we're going to go with another stacking team, or we're going to go the stun route. And I'm going to tell you right now, this takes a long time. A long time. Because we just don't have the synergy. We don't have the light buff, we don't have the light resistance and the attack buff. we have limited things we can use. So we're going to be stacking with Protector Shuna. Still probably the best stacking protector in terms of raw damage is concerned. We've got free-to-play Rimuru, who is a god of blue orbs. Raphael, for our primary damage dealer, right? Because he falls under Shuna's leader skill. He is stunning and piercing and alt resist downing. And this Yamja doesn't have any stun resistance, right? So we don't need to bring Lumi. Not that we could anyways. But Guy is also here again for his orb changing. He is covering the greens still, so we don't have a dedicated orange orb changer on this team. I intentionally did not bring Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. So what I brought instead was Hinata. Summer Hinata for the triple orb steal to try and hopefully get rid of some of the RNG. If we get a lot of oranges, we can just, hopefully steal with Hinata, have 6, and then send her alt next turn or something. And then we've also brought my bitch-ass Octogram Guy, because again, if he doesn't have any stun resistance, we can continue to stun him. And hopefully, between Hinata and these two, we have enough points from blue orbs, or just orbs in general, to where we can stun multiple times while this skill is relatively cheap. And then it gets really expensive, right? Because we don't have anyone to reset the cost. We can't bring Dark Protector Valdora because the greens are nerfed, and trying to use Dark Protector Valdora with blues is just not what you want to do. So, we're going to run this at a much higher speed than normal. Maybe not double time, but at least 1.5 times. Maybe we'll go double time, because it's like a 15-minute clip, because this fight goes on for, again, quite a while. But the idea is that you just keep stacking with Shuna on Raphael and Guy, because they're both single targets. Technically, you could do it to Hinata as well. Not nearly as important, though. But again, Guy is going to handle our turn 1 orb change. But Octogram Guy having type disadvantage means that he can spend very little time up front, unless Yamza is stunned. Because he's going to take a butt ton of damage. 1, because he's only level 80, and 2, because he has type disadvantage. But here, look at this. We have a good Megamine orb change. Great. Or we just use Hinata. So, example of why I brought Hinata, proven, right here. We'll give the stack to all 3 of our single targets, totally fine. I put the heal charm on instead of the protection gauge on blues this time, because I figured this fight's gonna go a while. It's not as coherent and well built as some of the other pure stacking teams like Fount of Wisdom or the Warrior's Mind team. So we're probably gonna be here a while, which means we'll probably need a little bit of health. So we're gonna keep our units topped up as much as we can. Again, with the oranges, there's not too much we can do about it. So I think we're just gonna do a 5 because we can steal and then do that. Okay, we did it the other way, but it still accomplished the same thing. So we held the Hinata alt in the back, and now this works out fairly well. We should have enough points to use the convert, and then the Guy's orb change, and then we can go ahead and get another stack on Guy and Raphael. We're again gonna leave Hinata in the back. I'm not gonna willingly mess up a 6-handed blue. So we brought in Hinata to not mess up the 6-handed blue, but still to have her up front. That way next turn we can just go ahead and send it willy-nilly. Now we have 2 alts. There's no point in holding these alts right now. Like, we could do damage, we could not do damage. We're gonna be here for a good amount of time. So now I think we're gonna start stunning. No, we're gonna not stun. Alright, so we're gonna get a full hand of orange for funsies, and then I think next turn we start stunning. But we also made sure to bring Raphael in to get another stack of Shuna, which is more important really than anything else, because he's going to do the most damage, falling under Shuna's light magic skill. So, I mean, again, this team works. It's not pretty. Raphael is already down to 1/3 of his HP. It's not great. It's definitely not great. But again, we brought the heal charm. We want to make sure that we can stay topped up. We're going to bring you in, and then we can use his orb change and get a full hand. We're going to send this alt now, and then we're going to get rid of it. So we're, again, making room. 300 points, another stack of Shuna, which means more healing for Raphael. Which we need. There's a Raphael alt, so I believe now we start stunning. On turn 8, he does the heal, which again doesn't make a difference because we've done even less damage this time than we did in the last segment. So I think right now I'm just thinking what I want to do here. So we're going to swap Raphael out. That's fine. Whatever. We're going to stun, and we're just going to kind of make do with what we have. We're going to 5 steal right there with Hinata. We're going to bring Rimuru in to convert all of those stolen Hinata orbs. And then we have the Guy orb change, and that'll give us a 6 of blue, another stack, 340 points. He is stunned, so he can't do anything. And there we go. So now this has turned into a stun fest, where I pretty much keep him stunned the entire rest of the fight, minus a turn here and there, because I don't have the points, because I didn't have a good hand of blues or something like that. But we are going to continue just to stack as well as possible, and there we go. There's a perfect hand right there. We'll send the Rimuru out, because he is definitely not a damaging unit, and I don't want it in my hand. Ooh, 1900 damage, is that what that did? Magical. But, I mean, that's what we're doing for the next, I think, 8 turns. I think we go to turn 15 or something. So excuse me while I fast forward a bit. You guys should understand the concept now. Okay, I think we're going to nuke here with Raphael, with the attack down, which is unfortunate, but we're going to do it anyways. So we'll stay here for this. So there's the convert. We'll use Guy, and we'll just use, we'll use the 2 skills right there, and then we'll see how much damage Raphael does, and then we'll skip ahead. 69,000 damage. Yeah. Great. Get that attack buff needs to go away. It is significant. So there we go. It's turn 10. We're going to skip ahead. Alright, so turn 15. Stunning, ulting, critting. Well, actually not critting for Raphael, but critting for Hinata and Guy. We're going to send all these orbs. Hinata 207k now, 254, 292. Doesn't actually kill, though. Doesn't actually kill. But he is stunned, which means that he can't heal. But now we're in a precarious spot, because we don't have a lot of points. All of our skills cost a lot, and we can only do so much. So we're going to 6-hand steal with Hinata and give her the crit, so we can do damage here. I was praying that we could kill, but it was not close. And I was really worried he was going to heal up to 70% right here. Thankfully, he did not. Which means that now we have won, because we have enough points to use the stun and the pierce and the alt resistance down. And now Hinata, with those buffs, will be able to take him out. And 91k. There we go. So it was a very painful process. It took, what, 16 turns or something like that? But it was able to do it. You just have to have some patience and quite a bit of orb RNG on your side. But there is technically the 4th team now that can clear this stage. Again, options are fairly limited as far as what you can realistically use to clear this with 1.2 million HP. So if you don't have these teams, don't worry. These stages will always be here. They're not going anywhere. Don't feel bad. You will eventually be able to beat them. And they are very much built for endgame players. So don't feel disheartened that you don't have this. But the video is here, so you can refer back to it. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.